there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and Calla and I are here today to talk to you about a book that is really, really fun. It has definitely been like the highlight of my summer so far reading it. It is absolutely so cute and adorable, and it really blew my expectations out of the water. I didn't really know what I was expecting, but I know I wasn't expecting to love this book as much as I did. And it's not for any like deep philosophical reason. It's just really because this book was just a barrel of laughs and so much fun. But there were some deep parts too. All right, so what book am I talking about? It is by George Lopez and it's called Chupacarter. Chupacarter. So George Lopez, if you don't know who he is actually an actor. He's a stand-up comedian, and he is apparently this is his first children's book as well. So Chupacarter, if you don't know, a chupacabra, it's a play on the word chupacabra, is a mythical being that's sort of like I wouldn't know how to describe it other than a little tiny like furry vampire kind of that eats goats. That's like the biggest, broadest generalization of a chupacabra ever. But you will learn so much about them when you read this story. So this is the book of a young kid named George who lives in California with his mom, but his mom has sent him to live with his grandparents in New Mexico. Mostly because she needs some help just getting her stuff in order, getting her life in order. And George sometimes has some trouble staying out of trouble in school. It's not necessarily always his fault either. Sometimes it's just the wrong place at the wrong time. He's got a little bit of a sassy mouth, right? And that can sometimes lead you into trouble. But he's not a bad kid or anything like that. Just sometimes gets into some trouble. So he's been sort of exiled in his perspective to New Mexico with his grandparents, who he gets along with okay, but there's sort of a, like, they don't really understand each other, right? There's the generation gap. They don't understand what's important to him, and he doesn't understand what's important to them. So he gets in trouble on his first day at this new school when he's sticking up for this kid getting bullied. Gets in trouble. Things are starting to not look so good. But then he sees this creature in the woods that he calls out to, and he finds that it is actually a chupacabra named Carter. And it's not a chupacabra like he feels like that he knows about in the stories and the myths. It's not this scary creature that preys on goats. He does drink blood, but he's a cool kid. He's a kid just like him. And they become really, really good friends. And in fact, not only do they become really good friends, but they both teach each other things that the other was lacking. So Carter teaches George to really appreciate things in life and to really stop and to not be so angry all the time, because George is angry a lot. And then on the other hand, George teaches Carter all kinds of other things too, which is really, really cute. So one thing I wanted to share a couple different things here actually. So here is just a really, really cute illustration of the two of them, of Carter and George. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention, is that there are illustrations all throughout this book, and they're not just happenstance illustrations. They really help tell the part of the story. So I wouldn't obviously go as far as to say this book is like a graphic novel or even close to a graphic novel. It's not. And it's not really like an illustrated novel as well. It's just somewhere kind of in between. It's just a novel but enhanced, right? So the one thing I wanted to share was about Carter and George's friendship. Okay. And how the coolest thing about Carter, he never judged me. I mean, in fact, he was the one person or thing who knew what it felt like to be me, who knew exactly what it was like to have people judge you by all the outside stuff, like the color of your skin, in my case, or the size of your fangs in Carter's. He explained how chupacabras were totally misunderstood and were always getting blamed for all sorts of things they didn't actually do. Story of my life, by the way. So they really just learn a lot from each other, and this friendship just adds so much to each other's lives. Well, things start to get intense when there are actually some livestock, some animals that get eaten, and George is afraid Carter's going to get blamed for it because it wasn't him. And there are actually these other creatures that are around that are doing the killing, and they have to try to put a stop to this. So this is a wonderful, wonderful story about finding yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, but also a really great story of friendship and just being who you are. I loved it so much, and it's so cute. This book is absolutely hilarious. It's super adorable. Sometimes when celebrities jump into writing books, I'm a little wary of that because I'm like, well, I don't know how good this is going to be, but I was really intrigued by the cover and the title. I like chupacabras and I wanted to learn more about them. And this book, just like I said, it totally derailed all my expectations, and I absolutely loved it. It was super adorable, so, so cute and fun and funny. Just a perfect, enjoyable story. Highly, highly recommend it. Chupacarter by George Lopez. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that that book sounds really fun and awesome and you're just as excited to read it as I have been to come and talk about it. If so, please feel free to check it out from Farmington Community Library. And also thank you so, so much for watching, friends. Have a wonderful rest of the day.